Yeah, just another little video of Beagnell. If you look closely, you can see that well, Beagnell is like tucked away behind them sand dunes that you can see there. Just to see the tops of the houses over there. And if you look closely, you can actually see a number of tents either on the beach or in the dunes. So I am the only one out here while camping. If I just sort of pan round, this is Beagnell Bay. Absolutely beautiful, miles and miles of sand dunes, sandy beaches. It just goes on and on and on and on for mile after mile. I'll just try and follow it around for you. And right on towards the end, way round the bottom, you may be able to just see there is actually a castle. This is actually Beagnell Harbour as such, and Beagnell Bay. You can't fail to find some lovely spot out here, or take the kids out on the beach and have nobody else for miles. Absolutely stunning. These two boys are just getting their boat ready for day out sailing. I'll just maneuver around to show you the actual harbour itself. Right, now then, that's the actual harbour. There, just a simple seawall. Now this building in the background that looks like it might be some castle of some description or some little vantage point going back hundreds of years is actually a lime kiln. So yes, they would have dried lime, crushed lime. So yeah, just a little view here of the farmhouse. That is the inner farm, outer farm. We're at sea houses. We're going out on the boat to show you around out there. I used to visit this place many times as a diver in the past. Totally enjoy it. Just pan round, and we can see Bamber Castle there, which we'll be visiting in the next day or so. And there in the background is Farne Island. So both will be having a look at. You know, when things are this beautiful, it's I'm just going to stop talking and just let you lot enjoy the view. Beautiful. And over there, just in the background, you can see the sand dunes. I was intending to stay there last night, but I found somewhere a little bit more comfortable.
When the seals are young, they are very playful and inquisitive. We do have scuba divers who come from all over the world, especially here to the Farne Islands to dive with the great seals. They quite often tell you it's like playing with a small puppy. However, it is a very different story on land. The grey seals, just as a general rule, are all very popular sight. They just find it much more difficult to move outdoors as they feel a lot more vulnerable. So if they ever are approached, they will become very defensive. It was designed by Joseph Nelson, and the lighthouse itself stands 26 metres tall, and the light can be visible from up to 18 nautical miles away. This lighthouse run was planned for 164 years before it finally went automatic in 1990.
We're on our way to Beagnell. There's sea houses. Nice little, well, it's a few houses basically by the side of the sea. There ain't a lot of it. But hopefully we can get there tonight and have a camp somewhere in the dunes again. A bit of wild camp again. So yeah, we'll crack on to Beagnell and hopefully tomorrow morning wake up by the sea. Well, we'll do. Have a nice view, hopefully. I don't know whether it's due to rain, don't think it is, so we might even get a sunset and sunrise. No, we might get a sunset. Wrong side of the country now. Anyway, we'll call it at that. Morning. Another lovely morning, another lovely view to wake up to. I'm just outside Beagnell. I got here yesterday afternoon, and yeah, this is the view from the cliff top, I suppose you'd say. Look, I just can't get this right, can I? Eh? I need a support thing. Right, let's pan round. So, it's lovely, the water here is unbelievably clear. And looking back, you can just see all it is just miles and miles and miles of sandy beaches. There ain't a soul about. Over there in the background, you can probably just make, well, you can make out, that is sea houses. Now we're going to be going there today, and if I just pan round a little bit there, I don't know if I can make this do what I want it to do, but if I can just enlarge a little bit, how that come into view, it might do. Might do. Out there anyway, there is the Farne Islands, which I'm hoping to take you all to today. I am good to you lot. We'll go and have a look at the birds on the Farne Islands and the famous Longhouse lighthouse. Yeah, just another nice little view for you. You know how much fun the kids were having playing about in there, rock pools, them little scars going out to sea. Hours and hours of fun they could have in there. Just panning round. Again, you can see, well, basically we're looking in the direction of sea houses, although we can't now see it. We're in Beagnell. Well, it's not Beagnell Bay because it's a bit further round is Beagnell Bay, but you know, what a beautiful morning. What a beautiful sight to wake up to. Yeah, just a quick one here. You can see that I've been left in charge of the life jackets and the bilge pump.
The difference between a shag and a cormorant is that the shags have very dark green plumage, yellow patches at the gape of their beak, and during the breeding season they'll also have a crest of feathers on the top of their head. This crest is just there for display purposes only, and once they've displayed and laid their eggs, this crest will just simply drop off. This then makes it much harder to distinguish a shag from a cormorant, and it is also very easy to mistake a young shag from a young cormorant. They do have a very similar light brown coloration. There is actually just one young cormorant just on the end there, so you can easily tell the difference as the shags are about 2/3 the size of the cormorant. As the guillemots come and go from the cliff faces, they often bump the eggs. So if you ever get a chance to see a guillemot egg, it is shaped round at one end, very pointed at the other. So if an egg is bumped, the egg will just simply spin around in a circle instead of falling off the cliff face into the sea. Then when the guillemot chicks are just 2 weeks old, they're referred to as jumplings as opposed to fledglings. And that's because they'll jump off the edges of these cliff faces before they can even fly. They'll then go out to the local feeding grounds such as the Farne Beach and the Dogger Bank, and that's where they'll learn how to feed and fend for themselves until they grow to adult size. of guillemot chicks in the middle there. There's one with its flapping wings in there. And then there's loads of guillemot chicks in the middle now. Getting quite big.
Yeah, the white discolouring on the rocks is guano, sometimes collected for fertiliser. These rocks here I remember well from my diving days. Spectacular diving around this area.
Coming up on the left hand side of the vessel, these are called the pinnacles, and it did used to be an additional pinnacle, but it was destroyed about 200 years ago during a great storm. It just lies up the end, and it's just under the water because it's coming up to high tide. And it's known to the locals as the broken branch. At the height of the seabird breeding season, it is estimated that there can be anywhere between 200 to 500 guillemots on the top of each pinnacle alone, with 20,000 nested here on Staple Island and up to 60,000 throughout the farms in total. The kittiwakes actually get their name from a very distinctive call that they make between each other. Now this next gully is a really nice gully to go into because you get all three members of the orc family. So there's a couple of guillemots, there's definitely a few razorbills nesting on the cliff edges here, and of course on top of the cliff face we have the puffins. Puffins are also a member of the orc family. They have a shiny black back, a broad sharp beak, a white front and a large head and beak. They're known to the locals as Tommy Noddies just purely because of their head movement when they walk. They're also known as sea parrots because of their brightly coloured triangular beaks. These beaks are just covered in horned plates, and at the end of the seabird breeding season these outer plates will simply drop off and their beaks will go back to being a dark grey in colour. These puffins spend up to 8 months of the year out at sea, so initially when they return to the Farne Islands, they do find it quite difficult to dig out their burrows, just purely because their feet are so soft. And as for the razorbills, they're actually much darker in colour than the guillemot, with a shiny black back, a broad sharp beak with a white stripe running through it. When the razorbills first arrive in the Farne Islands after being in the North Sea all winter, they gather together in groups called strops. And it's within these groups that at about... Sorry, I'm talking about the puffins again there. They gather together in groups called strops, and they meet back up with their partners ready for the breeding season. Now there was actually a razorbill chick on that ledge there. I'm not sure if it's still on show or not, but Tony and Andy will point it out if it still is. The razorbills lay one white egg on the edge of the bare rock so they can easily access the sea when their chick is ready to leave. And both the male and females both share the incubation period, so one will go off to feed for a few days, and then when it returns they will just swap over. One of the most important species of seal in the world. It is actually also one of the rarest species of seal in the world, and it is also the largest surviving carnivore in the British Isles. They can hold their breath for over half an hour and dive down to depths of up to 75 metres. The best time to see the grey seals here in the pond is through to January, which is their seal breeding season. It's also the best chance to see the full 6,000 grey seals that we get here, and it is also the best chance to see all the cute newborn pups that we get in the islands as well. And within each and every breeding season, we would usually expect to have around 1,500 seal pups born each and every year. But for the last 4 consecutive counts, we've had record-breaking seal pups born. And the last count that was conducted, and it was in 2018 just due to COVID, we had closer to 3,000 grey seal pups born. unfortunately, we do have a 20 to 50% mortality rate on those first year seals. But those who do survive their first year generally go on to live long and healthy lives.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your day out at the Farne Islands today. I'm on my way back to the campsite now. Two little pictures I took right at the end of the shot there. It was just simply two pictures of inside the lifeboat station. You couldn't see what I wanted to show you, but it is definitely marked up there, and it is a lifeboat launching for my home club, Whitby Tobacco Club. That's when it was in existence. At the time I was diving officer, and the lifeboat had to be launched. It was actually an unofficial dive, but it's still, the name Whitby Tobacco Club still came up on the board. And it's just, I'm just trying to tell you that, you know how fast things can change out there. It's alright having a nice little boat trip, but it can sharp change to quite a nasty situation. The two lads that went missing and were rescued, they overstayed their time on the dive by a few minutes. The tide changed in them few minutes and they found themselves miles away from where they were actually supposed to be picked up. Well, that's the way the sea can get you sometimes. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed that trip out to the Farnes, and I hope that I got the message through to you that here's a disabled man, no legs, can get on and off the boat, no problem at all. The crew were absolutely fantastic, first class. Everything you needed to know about fans, boats, seals, or anything else, all you had to do was ask. So, no reason why you can't take yourself on a trip at sea houses out to the Farne Isles and have a good time. See something different. I hope you're going to take up these things that I take you on. It's all there for disabled. You just have to get out there and give it a go. Okay.